I know obviously it's the beginning of the year and that most of us are already hyped, energetic, enthusiastic about the plans and everything that we want to do in the year. And you know, we are full of it, we're full of life, and that's okay. I named it the becoming an enthusiastic finisher because I don't want us to focus only on our starting point. I want us to focus on the finishing part, on the end goal, because that is where the momentum is. That is where, as we get through in the year, that is where the target is at the end of the year. So, what it means to become a finisher, an enthusiastic finisher, is that you have the same energy at the end, or when you complete your task or your goal, the same energy that you had in the beginning. So, as you're feeling hyped, enthusiastic, as you are feeling, you know, energetic about the beginning of the year and all the plans that you have set and lined up for yourself, I want you to keep that momentum. Better yet, I want you to improve on that momentum and that energy so that at the end of your task, you are still hyped, you are still energetic, you are excited, so that you can be able to begin the next one. Okay, so that is basically what it is all about, for you to have the same energy at the end of your task, at the finish line, at the end of your mission, the same energy that you had carried when you began the mission. Okay, but that does not come easy. So in our discussion today, we will be looking at how we are going to navigate the different seasons in order to still become an enthusiastic finisher, even at the end, with all that is happening through. Because we don't forget, we don't neglect the fact that life happens, and we have to acknowledge that. Okay, so now what basically I'll be talking about tonight is that we have to have goals. You finish something because you know what it is. You finish something because you've targeted what you need it to be. I want to also emphasize the importance of why we have to have goals. Firstly, goals give us direction. They direct our steps in terms of where we want to see ourselves this year. Otherwise, you know, when you randomly live and when you randomly go through life, you end up forgetting what it is that you actually want, where you actually want to be. So by the end of the 12th month, then you're sort of like, I feel like I have not achieved anything. Even though you may have achieved a few things in the year, you might not recognize them because you had not pinpointed the things that you really wanted to achieve in this year. So goals are very important in that it gives us direction, it shows us where our finishing point is. It gives us an indication of the end. So I know by the end of this month, by the end of this year, this is what I want to have achieved, this is what I want to do. So you have in your mind the idea of where it is that you want to be. And that is very important, because if you don't know where you want to be, you will go everywhere with everyone. So you need to have those goals, and goals help us direct our pursuit on what we want to be. So you have to have goals, guys, even if it's not a lot of goals, even if it's not big goals, even if it's not business goals, but a small goal, as small as, you know, saving 500 rand, you know, for the year, or saving 200 rand in a month. Anything that to you, you know, it will fulfill something, it will fulfill a mandate, it will give you fulfillment in a way at the end of the day. That is the most important thing when it comes to goals. Guys, I don't know about you, but Mina, I am an enthusiastic beginner. Like, I am hyped, I am always in energy when I have to start something. And I believe that most of us are really like that. Like, every time we have this new project and this new task, like, we are so hyped, we are so energetic, we're so ready for it, you know, and we just have that vibe, man. We just have that vibe to get it done. And then, you know, a few steps down the corridor, a few load shedding days here and there, everything starts to change. The momentum goes down, you know, we become reluctant, we lose energy, we lose focus, we get disturbed, life happens, we lose family, we lose people we love, we go through things. So the momentum gets into sort of like a curve, and then it slows down, and then it's probably uphill, and you just don't know how you're actually going to manage. So load shedding happens, corridors take us through areas or longer than we anticipated. We'll get to our destinations and then we sort of lose it. And we sometimes put the goal on hold, or we mark it as incomplete, or we mark it as a failed mission. So we sort of, in a way, tell ourselves that, you know what, it just didn't work out, regardless of the circumstances that made it seem that, or made it feel that it was not a possible one, or it was incomplete for whatever reason that it happened for you to lose your momentum and stuff like that. But that happens, that is life. And there are some things that we cannot control that actually shake our momentum. So enthusiasm does not always happen all throughout the seasons. It does not stay the same. It does not stay the same wavelength. It does not stay the same, emotions take over. So we will never probably have the same energy and drive in the beginning as we'll probably have in the end. However, the aim is for us to thrive and push ourselves and try to get to that energy. That is the most important thing. So firstly, I don't want us to be ignorant of the seasons of load shedding in our lives. And when I'm talking about seasons of load shedding, I'm not really talking about the Eskom load shedding that in our country we are so accustomed to, but I'm talking about the load shedding in our lives and the energy, the lack of ideas that happen through in and out of season. There are seasons where you're really full of ideas. There are seasons where you're really energetic to do things. There are seasons where you just don't have it. You just don't have the energy. You don't have the ability. You don't have the ideas. You just reach, it's like you hit this whole blank spot and everything just goes AWOL. So you have that moment. I call it the moment of load shedding because it happens rapidly in your life. Although sometimes it does in a way sink in slowly because we are either overwhelmed with what we are doing, or we are we're doing so much at the same time. But whatever the reason is, it just happens. You just get to a point where you're not functioning, and we cannot be ignorant of those seasons. Those seasons, they do happen, they do take place, and we have to be alert so that we know how to tackle those times and those seasons. So later on, as I continue the discussion, I will be talking about how we can actually navigate the load shedding season, okay? And then secondly, recognize that depending on your goal and your effort, how much you're putting effort into your work, how much you are making it work, your corridor can either be long or short. And when I talk about corridor, I'm talking about the process. I talk about the amount of time that is needed for you to reach your goal. I'm talking about how much work you have to put in, for how long, how many hours, those type of things. So depending on the nature of your goal, you will then, know how to actually plan it and how to achieve the goal and how to keep the energy going. And again, at the end of all this, I will discuss on how we can actually navigate each one of these areas, okay? So the third thing is whether you get started or finish, it depends on your procrastination. Now guys, I know we all suffer of this disease. Like, we suffer of this disease so much. I know I do. I suffer procrastination. My God, I suffer from procrastination, guys. If anybody feels me, like, just tell me you feel me. I suffer from procrastination. May God help me. Like 2023, no more procrastination. Okay, we are getting things done. We are doing things. It's happening. All right, let me see. People do tend to slow us down. But the most important thing, girl, is for you to look at the people that you're actually talking to. You can't be having the same person discouraging you and you still keep your connection with them. No, I think you need to, there has to be a season, guys, where we move away from people that are always negative. Like, I can tell you one idea, you can be negative, and I can take that. I can, like, okay, all right, probably, you're probably right, it could not work. But I can't tell you my second idea and my third one, and we keep discussing and you keep being negative, then you're killing my vibe. You're discouraging me. You're not the type of group that I need to have. So I think rather try to limit the people that are negative around you so that you can actually fulfill what you are called to do. You can't be running with people that are not running with you. You can't be in a group with people that are always pulling you down. It won't work and it won't take you anywhere. So it's very important to keep your momentum on the positive people. Sometimes, yes, the people that are physically with us aren't always encouraging us. But then find a family, find a community online, find people that are doing something that you know you are also passionate about, and stick to that. Even if you're discussing once a week with these people, even if you're connecting once a month with these people, but you will know that, listen, there's a community of people out there that are just as enthusiastic as I am. And I'm just going to hold on and lean into that emotion. You know, so you keep that energy there, you keep your vibe there, and anybody that comes with negativity, just shut them up. Like, just tell them to give you space. Tell them you're busy, you can't be with them. Tell them, like, don't share your ideas with anybody who's negative. They've already given you enough grief when you heard that they're negative in the first place, so you can't be sharing anything else with them like that, okay? So anyway, now we're talking about procrastination. Guys, we all suffer from this one, you know. But anyway, we have to stop procrastinating. We have to stop procrastination. A lot of our things that we want to achieve in life are delayed because of procrastination. And it's sad because there are reasons why we're actually procrastinating. Procrastinating is not really just you being lazy. It's not just you feeling like, okay, I'll do it, but I'm going to do it later. No, there are reasons that we actually justify why we're not doing things that enhance our procrastination. And firstly, one of those reasons is fear. And we know that fear is the absence of faith. So when we fear, we are actually telling ourselves that, you know, I don't trust myself enough to do this. I don't trust that what I'm doing is achievable. I'm not trusting that what I want to do I will achieve. I'm not trusting that I'm capable enough to do it. And it's so easy for us to actually, it's so easy for us to be fearful of, you know, not achieving something than it is for us to be fearful of not doing anything. I hope I said that right, like you understand that. It's easy for us to say, I don't think I can do that. But, you know, we're not fearful with the fact that I am stuck in the same place over and over again. We are not fearful with the point that am I really not doing anything? Am I really not going to make my life better? Am I really not going to, you know, achieve this goal? Why am I not fearful of that? Why am I so content with my goals being unachievable? Because that is something that we need to fear. That is where we need to place our fear in. Being fearful of being in the same place next year that I'm in now. Being fearful of not, you know, reaching just one goal in 2023. Being fearful that I'm carrying my 2022 goals into my 2023. Being fearful that I might just not get to where I want to be. That is where our fear should be. But our faith should be in the fact that I can do this. I am born for this. I have been given the ability to do this. I'm anointed for this. I have the grace for this. You don't have to feel it. You have to believe it, and that's where faith works. Believe that what is placed inside of you is strong enough to see it through. It has the grace, it has the anointing, it has the power for you to see it through. That's where your faith should lie. And that's how we justify procrastination, because we fear, what if I don't make it? What are people going to say? That is our first point. The second reason why we give into procrastination is because we are waiting for the favorable conditions. We are waiting for the right time. We are waiting for the right sponsors. We are waiting for the right equipment. We are waiting for the right connections. We are waiting. We are waiting for the right time, the right season, the right way to do it. But there's no right way, there's no right time, there's no right season. It's either you do it now or it doesn't get to be done. So we justify procrastination by telling ourselves it's just not the right time. I'm not in the right space. I'm not the right person. I am not doing this the right way. I still need to get people to interview. I need to get people to market this for me. I need to have a bank account for the business. I have to have a logo. There's so many things that we are putting on hold because of things that can still later be done. And that's how we justify ourselves. The thing is being undecided. Being undecided. I don't know if I'm probably remembering this right. There's a song by R. Kelly that says, when a woman is fed up, ain't nothing you can do about that. Guys, we have to be decided. You see, that song literally means there's nothing that can change her mind at that point. There's no way she can procrastinate about anything in her life at that point. And that is what we need to do. The problem we are procrastinating is because we're not fed up enough. We're not fed up with our goals not being achieved. We're not fed up with our goals not happening. We're not fed up with us setting standards and boundaries and moving forward in our lives and becoming energetic and the person that I'm called and desired to be. I'm not fed up, and until I'm fed up, I'm really going to be undecided. Anyway, with all of that being said, the nice thing about this is that there are ways around navigating load shedding in our lives, navigating corridor moments in our lives, navigating procrastination in our lives. And we cannot control certain seasons, like load shedding moments. We can't control that from Eskom. It's not in our hands. We can't also control, the kind of goals that we have, because those are goals that we desire to have in our lives. And we can change them, we can manipulate them, but they're still goals, and they still make us feel like, I want to do this. Okay, I want to do this. So there has to be a way in which we can still keep our momentum going throughout the year without really feeling like I am overgiving of myself, I am overworking myself, I am being hard on myself. There has to be a way from that. For us to navigate those areas, we need wisdom. We really need wisdom to know where to draw my energy, to know who to give my energy to know how to give my energy, and to know how to preserve my energy so that I can still task myself and do the things that I'm tasked to do in a good way and still be able to live. We've got families, we've got kids, we've got work, and we still have our own goals that in our own businesses that we want to achieve in. So I have to be able to distribute that energy in a balancing manner, and I need wisdom. And the Bible says, anyone who lacks wisdom, let him ask of it from God, and God will give it to him. James 1 verse 5. So it means that we have access to wisdom. We have access to being able to bring a balance in all of our lives, in all of the departments of our lives. So we just need to ask for it. We need to ask God to give us the wisdom to navigate the seasons that, are uphill, downhill, curved, stop sign, speed bump, whatever it is that you might be going through in your life. How can we navigate the seasons of load shedding, the long corridors, and procrastination? When I'm talking of load shedding, I'm talking about the times in our lives where we are really demotivated, discouraged, lack of energy, and we just don't have the ideas and the strategies and the plans and the resources to move forward. And also when I'm speaking of corridors, I'm talking about the amount of time or the length of time that it takes you to reach one, from one goal to the next, or from one process to reaching your goal. And then procrastination is when we are telling ourselves, I will get it done, I will, but we never really get to that. So we need to find a way to navigate those seasons, because they happen. Some we cannot control, some are due to unforeseen circumstances, some are due to our self-inflicted, I don't want to call it laziness, but yeah, just moments. It's just that. I'll just call it moments, for a lack of better word. The first thing is, take some time off. When you are feeling depleted, when you are feeling discouraged, when you are feeling, demotivated, you don't feel like you've got the ideas, you don't feel like you've got the plan in place, you don't see how this is going to work out, I want you to close that book, I want you to close that journal, I want you to close that laptop, close your social media page. Just take time off. take time off to cool, take time off, you know, go out with friends, go out with family, go on a holiday, go on a weekend away, you know, find a new hobby. Anything that will keep you away from that specific thing that is discouraging you, that you need to accomplish. Take time off from it. The reason I say this is because when we are so glued on something and focused on something for so long, we do get to that place of overwhelming. So when you take time off, you shut down, you close your that narrow mind part of your brain, and you open yourself to just thinking outside of the box of anything else that is probably happening around you. You get a better perspective. You get lightheaded. You get energized in that you see something new, and you get the vibe of, oh man, there is such a thing else that is happening outside other than this that I can either use to get my thing done. You might not, you'll still have the thoughts of your project or your plan or your goal in mind, but you will no longer be focusing directly on it. You in a way, you are looking at it from a different perspective without really being focused on it. So you need to take time off from whatever it is that you are doing whenever you start to feel like you are just overwhelmed, demotivated, you know, you don't have any energy for it, you're not enthusiastic, because you need to save your energy. So you have to cut down your energy usage from one particular thing so you can distribute it to everything else. Otherwise, when you take all your energy and you put it into this one project and you feel like it's just not going anywhere, it frustrates you even more. So you do have to shut everything off. At times you might have to shut people off. Give yourself the time to regroup. Give yourself the time to, to regenerate yourself, refresh yourself, remind yourself who you are and what it is and why you are in this position in the first place. And that way, when you come back to the project, you come back to the project with new energy, with new enthusiasm, with new ideas and a fresh mindset. So it's very important to take time off. Every time or any time. Do it as often as possible. When you start feeling like you keep looking at the same sentence over and over and over, just close it for a week. Don't look at it. Don't think about it. Don't do anything about it. Just close it. And then come to it after 2 weeks and see if you would read the sentence the same way again, you would read the paragraph the same way again, you would look at the strategy the same way again. Chances are you would see it better, or you would know how to correct it. And that's the beautiful thing about coming back with fresh perspective. Secondly, on your corridor ideas, you need to break down your goals. Any goal that looks like it will take a long time for you to accomplish, whether it's a 12-month goal or a 2-year goal or a 5-year goal, break it down into smaller targets. So you can take this one big major goal in your life and break it down into strategic elements that can help you achieve it, but one element at a time. That way you are keeping your momentum going, you are keeping your energy level distributed, and you are keeping yourself focused. At the end of the day, when everything comes together, it makes this one goal achievable. And also you don't really feel that it took long because you've been achieving small steps at a time. But if you leave it for longer, and if you leave it as long as it is, you will get to a place where you feel like it's probably not happening, it's not going to be achievable, it's just too much. I'll make an example of maybe like, say I want to buy a car, but I want to buy a car cash. And I'm sitting here, I don't have 100,000 with me. No, I don't. So now I have to take that goal and I have to break it down into smaller goals that I can target. So I'm moving that big goal of me buying a car cash into me saving for a car month-to-month basis. So each month that I'm able to save this certain amount that I've targeted myself to save is a goal for me. And I feel like, okay, so I've been able to save this amount this month, then I can save this amount next month, and I can save this amount next month. So at the end of my term, when I calculate my achieved goals throughout the month, I get to my big goal. So I'm not frustrated by where I want to be with the current stuff, but I am focused on what I need to save every month. So you also break down your goals in terms of what you want to and how you want to achieve it. So look at what the goal is and how long the goal it will take you to achieve, and see if you can break it down into meaningful portions that will keep your energy levels hyped. Okay, because the nice thing about energy is that it is always hyped by celebration and excitement. So the minute you achieve something this minute, you are so hyped and energized and excited that you are ready to tackle the next goal. So you will always have that rolling moment of energy and momentum and enthusiasm. So you are able to fulfill it throughout the year. So anything, even if it's like a 6 month target goal, use that so that you build up your momentum. Look forward to that goal. Try and break it down in a way that will not frustrate you, overwhelm you, or deplete you in your energy, so that when you reach it, you are able to revive yourself even further for the next lane of the goal. Okay. I hope the next one is bet your life on it. Like I said, R. Kelly said, when a woman is fed up, ain't nothing you can do about it. Listen, if you put your life on the line for what you want to achieve in your life, nothing and nobody can stop you. Not circumstances, not life's tragedy, not life's elements, not load shedding, nothing. It won't even matter the length of the corridor, but your mind is set at that goal. And that's how we completely beat procrastination. Put your life on it. Bet your soul on it. If I don't do this, no one else will do it. If I don't achieve this, no one else will achieve it. If I don't get this done, it will never be done. Bet your life on it. And I'm telling you, you'll wake up every morning and you'll be like, I need to get it done. I need to make sure it's done. I have to find another solution. I'll take time off if I have to, but I'll get back at it. I'll take time off if I need to, but I'll get back. You will do anything that is needed for you to do in order to get back in alignment, so you can actually reach that goal. So you need to bet your life on it, because no one else will achieve your goals for you. You have to achieve them yourself. Okay. Also, I don't want you guys to binge on your goals. Like, I don't want you to crowd yourself with so many goals that you end up not even fulfilling any of them. So don't binge on your goals. Don't try and do them all at the same time. Don't try and achieve them all in the same time. You don't owe anyone an explanation of why you actually achieved one goal instead of 2 or 3 in a year, whatever. They're your goals. They're like, you be content with how you achieve them. You be content with how you do them, how you flow in them. They're yours. No one else has to know, or you don't have to explain to anybody else what needs to be done, or how you need to achieve it, or by when you need to achieve it. Those are your targets. So don't feel overwhelmed or feel like you need to actually do them for certain people to acknowledge that you've done something in a year. No, you don't have to do so. You don't have to binge on all of them. You don't have to do them all at once. So just stay enthusiastic from the start. From the minute you start, be enthusiastic of the goal. Be energetic of how you want to achieve the goal, and be excited when you actually are in the goal. Are in the goal is very important, because it means you can see that something is happening. It doesn't mean you have to be like hands-on. There are some goals where, like me, if I'm saving for a car, it will only happen once a month. So it's not really like I'm hands-on every single day, but my mind every single day is thinking about my payday and the amount that I need to save at the end of the month. So the minute I get my salary, that's the first thing that I'm thinking about, because it's a target for me for this month. It's a goal I need to celebrate for this month so I can get to my bigger goal. So you have to do that as well. You have to be excited, you have to be energized, you have to be enthusiastic about when you think of your goal, when you think of what you want to do. You have to have that energy, and that energy is what will push you and carry you through until you actually reach that goal. Okay, and remember, one win will always provoke you for the next one. So always keep that win. Always keep that win. The win is what will push you to your next goal. Our goals are not just for us, but they are an indication that God has given us provision in this world to fulfill our desires. They are an indication that God supplies all of our needs, and God is able to pull us through as long as we set our mind on things above, as long as we trust in Him to lead us through, as long as we ask Him for the wisdom to navigate, they will actually come to pass. Okay. So keep your goals as simple as possible, as realistic as possible, and as achievable as possible. Have a realistic game plan. Have a realistic strategy. Make sure your strategy is going to help you accomplish that result, that goal, that mission. Okay. And believe in yourself. Believe that you can do it. Believe that there's no one else that can do the thing that you can do. Believe that you were designed and destined to do this. Believe that this is your year to prosper. This is your year for restoration. This is your year for elevation. This is your year for everything that you think you set your mind to. Make sure that you believe in yourself and seek for help and recommendation and ask questions. Any people that have the wisdom to just help you, walk with you in the path for you to achieve this goal. So always seek for help, always ask, and be yourself. Be yourself. Always try to stay authentic to yourself. Your goals are only going to fulfill the real you. They'll never fulfill anybody else or any other character that you may think you need to be. So always be yourself. Okay. And then pace yourself accordingly. Design a strategy that will work with your everyday life. We are moms, we are bosses, we own companies, we are workers, we are employees, we are wives. We have this whole nature around us and connections around us that need to be balanced. So we need to pace ourselves so that our lives are in a balanced form, and that we are not just taking ourselves and focusing ourselves on building the school system that we neglect everything else that happens around us. So pace yourself enough for you to enjoy life. The aim is to enjoy life while you're actually achieving goals. Yeah, that's it. So last thing before I forget, it depends on your ability to actually change or to navigate changing seasons. Like we said, we spoke of load shedding, we spoke of corridor things, we spoke of procrastination. Those are all different seasons in your life that you are going to go through. You are definitely going to go through those roller coaster moments. So the most important thing for you is to be able to navigate those changing seasons. Seasons change, strategies change, plans change, but your goals don't have to change. You can change how you reach them, you can change how you do them, you can change how you want them to be at the end, but you don't have to change the goal itself. You don't have to change the goals, but you need to be flexible enough to adapt to the changing seasons, to the situations you are facing, to the circumstances that are happening around you and everything else, but still keep the goal in mind. This is the year where we have to set ourselves on motion, guys. So everything that we think we've ever wanted to achieve, we can actually achieve it. Alright guys, so I will finish off everything on the chat part, so I'll be also indulging on the comments and replying to you guys on the comments, but I really enjoyed this. So thank you so much for being part of this discussion. Thank you, I love you, God bless you.